Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most iconic books of the 20th century, George Orwell's 1984. We'll be exploring some deep and thought-provoking. Particularly today, we are focusing on the theory and practice of oligarchical collectivism, as described by Emmanuel Goldstein in the book. In 1984, Orwell not only critiques the idea of a totalitarian regime, but also explores how power dynamics and class distinctions can shape society. It's a chilling reminder of the lengths to which those in power will go to maintain control. Imagine living in a world where every thought you have is monitored, where freedom is an illusion. So, let's get started. In Chapter 1, Ignorance is Strength, Goldstein's books introduces us to a striking idea that the society has always been divided into three distinct groups: the high, the middle, and the low. This division isn't just a modern phenomenon, it has persisted throughout history, though the specifics of each group's role, size, and relationships with one another have varied. The high seek to maintain their power and remain the high. The middle aspires to replace the high and the low, if they have any goal at all, as they are mostly occupied with daily continuous chores, dreams of a world without class distinctions, a world in which everyone is equal. The chapter describes a cycle of power, where the middle overthrows the high, become the new high, and eventually, a new middle group emerges, seeking to overthrow them in turn. Orwell suggests that, with our knowledge of history gained through previous years, it's possible to break this cycle indefinitely, keeping the high in power permanently, and ensuring that the middle and low remain in their places, and this is what the party aims to do. Let's pause for a moment. Do you think Orwell's vision is still relevant today? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Orwell also highlights that in past ages, inequality was accepted as a natural part of life. But in the 20th century, with the rise of industrialization, it's technically possible to create a more equal society in which everyone has a comfortable life: a car, a refrigerator, a TV, so on. However, Orwell warns that true equality could lead to a dangerous situation where everyone is literate and educated, and thus aware that the ruling high class is unnecessary. This, in turn, could lead to rebellion and the overthrow of the high. The party maintains inequality in the society through continuous war. Inequality is not just a byproduct of power, it's a necessary tool to maintain it. The high class depends on this inequality to ensure they stay in power forever. Without the divide between the high, middle, and low, the structure would crumble. The high would lose their grip on control, and society as they've built it would cease to exist. Therefore, a truly equal society where a small minority holds power is impossible. In the past, the high class tolerated liberal views and was uninterested in knowing what their subjects were thinking, as they lacked the technology to monitor every thought. However, rebellious actions were met with swift punishment. Newspapers and radios were biased, and they shaped public opinion. However, with the advent of technologies, private life came to an end in Orwell's world of 1984. Every citizen worth watching could be kept at 24-hour surveillance. The possibility of enforcing not only complete obedience and will of the state, but complete uniformity of thoughts on all subjects existed for the first time. The book also depicts the four key challenges that could threaten the high's dominance. First, an external force such as a conquest by the neighboring country could challenge the state's power, though this is unlikely in Orwell's world of Oceania. Second, if the high become inefficient, the proles, representing the low class, might rise in protest. The third challenge, if there persists a strong dissatisfaction among the middle, which could spark a desire to overthrow the high. Finally, the fourth is, if the high lose their self-confidence and willingness to govern. These problems do not exist singly, and all four of them are present to some degree. The ruling class must guard against all of them to remain in power. Firstly, Orwell presents a world where war is continuous and unending. The three superstates, namely Oceania, Eastasia, and Eurasia, are in a constant state of war, but there's an unspoken agreement that no state will conquer another's territory. This perpetual war is less about victory and more about maintaining the status quo, ensuring that no state can dominate the others. This scenario makes external conquest impossible, keeping the power dynamics between these superstates intact. Second impossibility lies in the awareness of the lower class, the proles. The proles are kept in such ignorance that they don't even realize they're oppressed. Since they are unaware of their own oppression, the possibility of a revolt is non-existent.
They are systematically deprived of any means to perceive their reality, ensuring that they remain passive and powerless. The real danger to the ruling class comes from within, the middle class. Those who are underemployed, power-hungry within this group might seek to usurp the ruling class. This is avoided by continuously mounding the consciousness of the directive group, referring to the outer party, and the larger executive group, referring to the inner party that lies beneath it. The party also cleverly manages this by promoting the most capable and power-hungry individuals from the inner party into the outer party, and weaker or less useful members of the outer party are cast aside. Let's look into the structure of society in Oceania. At the top is Big Brother, a figure who is infallible, omnipotent, all-powerful, and omnipresent. Despite this, no one has ever seen him. He exists only as a voice on the telescreens and a face on the hoardings. His very existence is a tool of control, embodying the perfection that the party wants the people to believe in. Beneath Big Brother is the outer party, which represents the high and makes up about 2% of the population. These individuals live in luxury compared to the outer party and the proles. Then comes the inner party, the middle, who has a comparatively better lifestyle than the proles, who constitute the low. Children born to outer party members do not automatically become members of the party. At the age of 16, children undergo examinations to determine their suitability for either the outer party or the inner party. Importantly, there is no racial discrimination in these selections. Individuals of African descent, American Indians, Jews, hold high positions in the party. However, the proles, who make up the majority of the population, are never allowed to join the party. Even if one is most gifted among the proles and who might possibly become nuclei of discontent, are simply marked down by the thought police and eliminated. The party's primary goal is to perpetuate its ideology and maintain absolute power. The party is not a class in the old sense of the world. If there is no other way of maintaining its power and being the high, the party will be open to recruit an entirely new generation from the proletariat. A difference in opinion among the proles is tolerated because their difference in opinion is seen as a matter of indifference. The proles are largely illiterate and are granted intellectual liberty. In contrast, party members are required to have unwavering faith in all party laws, no matter insignificant it might be. Any smallest deviation of thought is unacceptable. The party demands complete and unquestioning loyalty from its members, ensuring that its control remains unchallenged. To maintain control, the party teaches 3 essential principles which are called as crime stop, black white, and doublethink, in newspeak words. Crime stop is a concept where individuals, from a young age, are conditioned to instinctively avoid thinking anything that could be harmful or critical of the party. It involves more than just a lack of understanding or failure to grasp logical errors. It includes the inability to follow even the simplest arguments if they challenge the party's ideology, and an almost automatic disinterest or revulsion towards any thought that could lead to questioning the party's authority. However, Crime Stop isn't just about ignorance or stupidity. Simply, ignorance isn't enough. The people must develop such control over their own mental processes that they can consciously avoid any thoughts that could lead to dissent. Much like a contortionist has complete control over their body, this mental self-regulation ensures that even the possibility of subversive thought is eliminated, keeping the party's power unchallenged. Black-white refers that black is white. This phrase represents a deliberate contradiction, where people are conditioned to believe that black is white, fully accept it, and forget that they ever believed otherwise. The idea is not just to accept the contradiction, but to erase any memory of the original truth. This principle is essential for the abolition of the old past and to create a new past. By convincing people that what they once knew to be true is false, the party can create a new narrative of the past. This manipulation ensures that people believe they are living in better conditions than before, keeping them content and less likely to rebel against the party. The new past is not created at any specific instant, but is created in whatever is needed according in the moment. Information is altered several times a year, and additionally, as soon as the new past is created, people forget the old and believe in the new past. Past is stored in records and in the human memory. The Ministry of Truth rewrites all the records as the party itself owns all the written records. However, it is also necessary to alter one's memory.
It is necessary to rearrange one's memory or change the records, and it's necessary to forget that one has done so. The trick of doing this can be learned like many other mental techniques, called as reality control. In Newspeak word, it is called as doublethink. Doublethink is the process of believing two contradictory opinions, simultaneously enabling them to accept the new truth while forgetting the old. The party intellectuals know in which direction their memory has been altered, and therefore know that he is playing tricks with reality. The process has to be both conscious and unconscious. One must be able to dislocate the sense of reality. For the party to continue its dominance, it must dislocate the sense of reality. Members of the outer party, who understand how the party operates, are ironically the furthest from seeing the world as it truly is. The greater their understanding, the greater their delusion. The more intelligent they are, the less sane they become. This phenomenon is evident as the higher up the rank goes, the more contrast opinions they hold. And they also exhibit the most intense war hysteria, while the proles remain only vaguely aware of the ongoing war. Through doublethink, the party ensures that even those who understand the workings of the party are trapped in their own delusions. By using doublethink, the party makes the people accept contradictory beliefs, thereby obscuring reality. This enables the party to maintain its control over the population and secure its position at the top indefinitely. The party's slogans, "War is peace," "Freedom is slavery," and "Ignorance is strength," are prime examples of this. These contradictory ideas are also embodied in the four ministries of Oceania. The Ministry of Peace wages war, the Ministry of Truth spreads lies, the Ministry of Love enforces torture, and the Ministry of Plenty manages starvation. Through doublethink, the party controls and distorts reality, allowing them to manipulate history and maintain their rule. This way, the party maintains control over both history and the present, ensuring their power remains unchallenged. So, why does the party insist on maintaining inequality? Why should human equality be averted? Why is it so important that equality should be never achieved? Here lies the original motive of the party, the central secret which instinctively led to the seizure of power. These are further explored in the upcoming chapters of 1984, and we'll explore this in our next video. So, in 1984, Orwell not only critiques the idea of a totalitarian regime, but also explores how power dynamics and class distinctions can shape society. It's a chilling reminder of the lengths to which those in power will go to maintain control. What do you think? Can these ideas be applied to our world today? Let's discuss in the comments. And if you enjoyed this analysis, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into classic literature.